Hey guys, it's me Sasha again, and today for you I have a video with some exciting news from the world of rhythmic gymnastics. Before starting the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and put your thumbs up. And remember that our goal is to gain 100,000 followers. Also don't forget to follow us on Instagram, and the links are down in the bio. Today in the video I will tell you about the Championship of Allied Gymnasts, about postponement and cancellation of some of the tournaments in Russia, and about the injuries of the gymnasts after the quarantine, and some other interesting information. Let's get started. In the last video I talked about the fact that in Alushta in September they plan to hold all Russian competitions, including the Cup of Russia, Hopes of Russia, and Young Gymnasts. However, the tournaments were cancelled. According to official data, the reason for the cancellation is that in Alushta there are problems with accommodation according to the strict rules in connection with pandemic of COVID. In fact, there are not enough places with the necessary requirements. Because of this, the tournaments will be scheduled again, but this time in Moscow. There is no information about the timing, but the competition is still planned. From unofficial sources and what is being discussed on the forums, it is assumed that the tournaments were cancelled due to the fact that it is in Crimea, and in order not to ruin a relationship with Ukraine, in case the gymnasts will still go to the European Championship. I won't say that I really believe in this option, but the official statement seems strange. In my opinion, there was information about the lack of accommodation, meeting the requirements of the epidemiological situation, even before the location of the tournament was chosen. Write in the comments what do you think on this issue. It will be interesting to know your opinion. Maybe I'm not right. At the same time, a full-fledged competition was held in Bulgaria, with the participation of allied gymnasts. The tournament is called National Allied Championship. The best gymnasts of Bulgaria, as well as the national teams in group from Bulgaria and Israel, performed at it. The Bulgarian team scored 36 and 4/10 for the exercise with 5 balls, while the Israel team scored 33 and 5/10. The estimates seem kind of high, given that there was a quarantine and there was no full trainings. But what really hooked me is the new leotards of the Bulgarian national team. I don't even know which ones I like more, in which they performed with the balls or with mixed apparatus. Write in the comments which ones you like the best. By the way, the Israeli national team performed at the Bulgarian Championship for a reason. Now Israeli gymnasts will conduct a joint training camp with Bulgarian gymnasts at the same base. The best gymnasts of Bulgaria also performed in the individual program, so in the all-around, the first place was won by Mariana Kalein. Tatiana Volozhanina took the second place and Kudryavtseva took the third place, which was quite far behind the first place, by about 5 points. Many gymnasts of the Bulgarian national team did not perform at this championship, and the head coach of the Bulgarian national team, Ilian Raeva, explained that almost all the gymnasts, after quarantine and the absence of constant trainings, returned to stress and were injured. So due to the impossibility of the athletes in the gym, after the resumption of training, Yana Vladimova injured her neck and is now recovering. Tatiana Volozhanina, who took second place, also performed with an ankle injury. The injury is not so serious, but she isn't allowed to fully train. Kudryavtseva also trains with an injury, but not completely leaving the training regime. Well, Mariana Kalein also trains with an injury, sparing her injured leg, so we can say that the entire Bulgarian team is injured, but continues to delight the audience. Ilian Raeva, head coach of the Bulgarian national team, announced that she plans to retire. Well, I think many of you have already heard that on August 29th, Yana Kudryavtseva, the silver medalist of the Olympic Games and the repeated world champion, gave birth to her second child, a girl named Zoya. In her Instagram, Yana wrote that the baby was born with difficulties, but has not yet told what happened. I hope everything is fine, and I congratulate Yana and her husband Dmitry Kugryshev. Probably for me, as a girl, the most pleasant thing is that her husband supports her and was there with her when Yana gave birth. They have a very nice family. Recently, Alexandra Soldatova hosted a live broadcast where she talked about an eating disorder that led to the suspension of her sports career. She admitted her illness quite recently. On the air, she said that when you have an eating disorder, you seem to live two lives. In one you train, and in the other one you fight with your inner self. Sasha shared that she could not eat in the company tried to isolate herself from people, and for about 2 years tried to cope with it herself. But after a broken leg and missing the European Championship, which was important for Sasha, she realized that she was destroying her body as she could not eat for several days. It was this situation that pushed Sasha to open up to her personal trainer, Nadezhda. Sasha also told how it all began with her. Sasha faced bulimia in 2017. At that time, no one told her that she had weight problems, but Sasha herself was focused on it. At first, she simply limited herself to sweets and constantly weighted herself, and then she caught herself thinking that she began to pay too much attention to her weight. In 2017, Sasha looked very thin at some competitions. So Sasha realized that when thoughts revolve only around food, how much she ate, how many calories there were in food, how many calories she burned, it was not normal. Sasha began to starve, which made her have little strength and energy. It became difficult to train, and it was difficult to admit that she had nutritional problems. As a result, Sasha hid the problems for a year and a half and tried to overcome it herself. Now Sasha is returning to this problem to help those who need such a help and to make it clear that people with an eating disorder are not alone. Over the past 3 years, Sasha has met a huge number of people with a similar disorder. Almost everyone tries to cope on their own, and only a few manage to do it without the help of professionals. Sasha was in the hospital twice. The first time, without finishing the treatment, everything started from the beginning. The second time, the work went well, including psychotherapy. Now Sasha would like to help people who have faced this problem, and perhaps even professionally. Let's hope that Sasha has learned a lot and can really help people who suffer from eating disorders. That's it for today. Remember that I love you all and see you really soon in the next video.